The Q4 e-tron. It's 100% electric and 100% Audi. You see, aside from those missing exhaust pipes and the not actually a grille, but more on that shortly, there is not much that says electric. This could be called EV by stealth, because on first impressions, this is more Audi SUV than Audi EV. We're driving the Q4 e-tron 40. This is the middle of the range, if you like. You get the two-wheel drive from the 30, but you get the bigger battery and faster charging from the 50 Quattro. It really is the sweet spot. And you know, aside from that grille, which fair to say is a rather loud design statement, there's nothing else shouty about the Q4 e-tron. But there's very little restraint when it comes to technology. There's the fun stuff like choosing your own DRL display. Then some seriously cool tech. Just take the heads-up display. It doesn't just put the information on the screen, it actually combines virtual and real world. That's the fancy way of saying it. It actually puts the information onto the road in front of you. The hexagonal steering wheel is a definite departure. This was nearly 5 years in the making, and along with steering the Q4, it controls 18 different functions. But for all the newfangled tech, there's actually some old school common sense at play, like actual buttons for the climate control. I am all for touchscreens, but there's a time and a place for some menus. The Q4 e-tron delivers on the SUV side of things. Head and leg room is great in the back seat, and further back there's 520 litres or 1490 litres with the seats down, and storage space is great around the car as well. Now underneath me is a platform that's pure EV. It shares nothing with any of the Audi ICE SUVs, but for purposes of comparison, this car is 7 centimetres shorter than a Q5 and 10 centimetres longer than a Q3. That gives you an idea of size. As for drive, well, it feels nothing like either of those vehicles. Instead, it feels like a baby e-tron, which I guess makes sense. How Audi is that? And on the Audi theme, the surfaces are all on brand. The Q4 e-tron is unmistakably premium, and every car gets the 11.6-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Well, the navigation doesn't just get you there, it can actually pick the best route to improve your range. And speaking of increasing range, these paddles on the steering wheel, well, they're not for gears, they decide how much regen you're putting back into the battery, up to 0.6 of a G of stopping power. And that's all energy going back into your car. That said, the regen is not ferocious, it's more passive-aggressive. What the e-tron won't win is a drag race. 0 to 100 takes just over 8 seconds. If you are in a bit of a hurry, go for the Quattro. That'll do the sprint in 6.2 seconds, all thanks to the extra motor and 220 kilowatts. What the 40 model does deliver, and I talked about it being the sweet spot before, is the range. Thanks to the 82 kilowatt hour battery, you get up to 520 kilometers officially. Along with that, you get fast charging, 135 kilowatts. To put that in everyday terms, 10 to 80% in 33 minutes. It will also tow a ton. You can find out more detail on the Q4 e-tron, including how to order from Giltrap Audi, by clicking that link in the top right of the screen. That instant torque from any speed, the quiet and comfortable ride, means the Q4 e-tron feels properly like an EV, but it also looks and feels like an Audi, and that's important. There's a reason Audis are so desirable, and like they did with the big e-tron and the e-tron GT, Audi have made sure this is very much part of the family.